Nova, we're live. Just started.
Huh? Oh, yeah? Oh, shoot.
I'm keeping that in. So, okay, so this intellectual actually goes by the name of Soulsboy, and his review stated, a 2D Dark Souls clone made by hipsters. The level design is bad, some of the bosses are impossible. A game for sickos who are into punishing themselves. You enjoy playing your games. Avoid this one. Well,
alright. So Johnny, I guess we're gonna have like the sort of format where Johnny reads them out, and then we talk about how bad they were.
I have a good speaking voice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you this. The bosses aren't impossible because if I manage to beat them, anyone can do it. Yeah, the bosses are not impossible. I've beaten almost all of them. I'm only missing like 4 out of all the bosses in the game. Like 4 or 5. It's at least in the single digits, I know.
Gotta wrap this up, Nova. We gotta read more. I know.
Yeah,
I know the viewers. They're like, come on.
Next review.
Okay, next one. It says, I love this one by Jeff Blizlock so much. Very frustrating game. I couldn't even get going as I got lost, and then once I found a map, I next needed a compass. I can explore, but want a map. I am not some waiter who memorizes orders. Pros, look nice and the controls felt fine. Cons, lack of map, lack of compass. Oh my god.
Alright, I'm gonna tell you this, because here's something. I think this just might be a personal like preference, and for like most of the people that play the game. One of my favorite feelings about playing Hollow Knight was getting lost, because it was just fun to just explore.
I'd be freaking out. I'm like, what the hell am I? Anyways, a review.
Anyway.
Yeah, we gotta speed this up, Nova. Viewers are like, next comment. A review placed by someone who is only known by the name Noctamar. Another great example of art over gameplay, since the art style is all that matters to Team Foul Cherry. It is not surprising that they don't care that many platforms and passageways are hard to see and distinguish from background crap. This and Axiom Verge are the worst paced Metroidvanias on the market. The game could reach the same goal with half of the playtime, because you are wandering around like an idiot the other half, since fast travel stations are rare. Just play Environmental Station Alpha, or for a more Souls-like experience, Salt and Sanctuary.
Alright,
shut up, Windows Defender.
Alright, so I'm gonna say something. I think this guy just might have a problem with seeing, because it might just be his depth. I can't say depth. I can't say the word, but depth perception.
Depth perception.
Yes, I can't say the word. I'm sorry. But yeah, it has something. He might have problems with that, which is probably. Yeah, I understand that. But the entire fact of wandering around, I explained in the last post. I like getting lost in the game, and a lot of people do. And even then, when you buy the map, it only takes out the freaking.
Next comment.
More to say about that since you've played Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, look at this. My girlfriend thinks I have a problem. Baby, you're still playing Hollow Knight? Babe, you need sleep. I have to or I'll die. Okay, well, I love you. I love you too, and I really am super close to finishing the Path of Pain. I'll go to bed very soon, I promise. He's not going to bed.
He's not. I can confirm. Path of Pain takes way too freaking long. It took me fun fact, it took me over a week to try doing it. I don't know why.
Oh boy.
Alright.
I recently looked through some of the reviews for Hollow Knight on Metacritic as well, and have found another 2 favorites that you didn't mention. Brownie Man 182. This game is mundane. Compare it to the design and feel of Ori or the color and character of SteamWorld Dig. There is no music and barely any sound. It's dull, lifeless, and boring. It's not a 0. It's possibly a 5 or a 6 out of 10, but I have to put a 0 to contrast the crazy 10s in the interest of balancing them out.
Hollow Knight 1, yeah, Hollow Knight has great music.
Oh, this guy has his own thing to say about it. He says,
Oh, yes, something.
it's like, well, first of all, it seems as if the person didn't get further than Forgotten Crossroads. You don't neither have to like the art style nor the music, but stating that there's none is factually wrong. Hollow Knight has a few lush and very colorful areas, as well as a long and diverse soundtrack. I'm glad that this person isn't working in games journalism. The state of that is already bad, and this logic would make it even worse. IGN rated the last Call of Duty's too high, so I'll give the next installment minus 10 points to compensate for that. Makes sense and seems fair. Oh, that's other review he made. The second one is a professional review about the PC version. A Game Critics, a 65 out of 100. I still hesitantly recommend Hollow Knight to anyone as partial to Metroidvanias as I am. But the experience runs far longer than its visual appeal does, and at that point it becomes just another Dark Souls wannabe. It's solid, but it demonstrates how far we still are from puzzling out from software's masterpiece. And it's like, yeah, actually,
like, yeah, like, Hollow, like, people's, like, compare it to the Dark Souls, like, with the only real thing in common with it is the difficulty and the whole, like, when you die, you have to go and flame something, which just only gives you your money and fills your soul, because your whole thing's in half. Your soul meter, it gets cut in half, so you can't use as much soul, and you can't store as much. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit.
Honestly, as someone who is used to challenging games, I found Hollow Knight to be one of the worst. I found the challenge here to be gimmicky at best, with cheap mid-boss enemies, damage model based on hits and touches by enemies, and awkward controls. Platforming made even worse on the Switch thanks to the Joy-Cons.
Okay, I can butt in. I can, Joy-Cons, at least the older models, since they drifted a lot, I can say that that's true, since I played the Switch version. I can say, the Joy-Cons drift definitely makes it a lot worse. Luckily, I think Nintendo might have fixed the problem, since my new Joy-Cons, they haven't had any issues at all. For like the past year and a half. So I could say that after Joy-Con drift got fixed, I think it's way better now.
Okay, that's good.
Alright.
You start with the little guy that has 1 attack. 3 if you count directional counts as well. A heal spell and a jump. That's it. No block, no dash / evade. No way to avoid getting hit, and as I've mentioned, getting touched means getting hit. The enemies are very agile and have a long reach. You yourself are very small and cover a short area, which leads to a lot of cases where you are being hit while trying to hit. In short, the combat is abhorrent. Abhorrent?
It's abhorrent.
Oh, okay. There's no learning curve like what you had in the Souls game, where if you could overcome a difficult enemies / sequence, you could get past it by learning from mistakes, learning new moves and strategies. There's none of the here, as the game is very straightforward. The platforming is probably the worst offender. It has this awful downward attack that you have to use to get through some parts, which is a pain to archive on the Joy-Con. Add to that tight jumping sequence is where you are harassed by enemies you can't avoid.
Can I cut in now? I'm gonna cut in like at every like paragraph or two.
Oh boy.
The nail bounce is probably like the most important thing you could have in your arsenal. It is probably one of the most OP things you can use if you know how to do it correctly.
Like the down hit?
Yeah, when you use the nail and you bounce off enemies, if you know what you're doing, you can use it to literally never get hit at all.
So like Hollow Knight, right? Like, or no, what am I saying? It's like Shovel Knight.
Yeah, in fact, it's exactly like that, except you don't hold down. You have to tap the button every single time you do a nail bounce. So
that's OP.
It's a little harder.
That's OP.
But it's really good if you know what you're doing, and I use it all the time. It's my favorite way to get revenge.
Nice. Anyways, some enemies respawn while you rest at a bench. Others respawn if you exit an area, making it feel very inconsistent. The area maps that you have to purchase, which is incomplete when you buy it, also updates new areas you've been through while resting at a bench. You have to grind your ass off to buy basic game mechanics like maps, map pins, etc. Overall, I think this game tries so hard to be a 2D Souls, but falls flat due to all of the above, instead being nothing more than an overhyped poor attempt with pretty aesthetics. As it is, the game is unplayable and enjoyable, without a scale book on the difficulty, maybe with the easy mode added. If you're looking for a Souls-like, you won't find it in Hollow Knight. I strongly recommend waiting for Dark Souls Remastered, Dead Cells, both out later this year. Oh look, Team Cherry's trolls are barging in to downvote bad reviews.
Oh my god.
Look, he gave all these other ones, like Doom,
Dude, he gave all those like freaking 1 and 3.
Ratchet and
Doom a
Clank.
1, Jesus. It's like the most unreliable. I don't know about size matters. Ratchet and Clank size. That's the greatest name for any game I've ever seen.
I mean, size does matter, and then Owlboy, which I heard was mixed.
Yeah.
You either
Like-
love it or hate it. It's like the combat is pretty bad, but the story is good.
Yeah, there are games like that. Here's something. In case this video hasn't let you know, I absolutely love Hollow Knight. I actually have the collector's edition sitting right with me. For the Switch version of the game. And, dude, it's great. I should make my own video review of the game.
Of Hollow Knight?
Of Hollow Knight. I should definitely do that.